All right, welcome back and welcome to episode 162 of Those Millennials Podcasts. I'm your humble, grateful, extremely thankful host, especially thankful to be back. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life. Rell's currently busy, so I'm just going to go ahead and get to our guest, who's not really a guest. He's been on here plenty of times. Uh, Dustin, for those who don't know, those who are just listening, Dustin's obviously our Nuggets fan, and he's for those who are just listening to this podcast, you are benefiting a whole lot more than me because he's in his true form right now, front running and showing all of his bling. But go ahead, Dustin. How you doing, man? How you feeling?
Oh, dude, living on cloud nine right now. It was a great birthday gift for the Nuggets to win their first title on my birthday, and then 24 hours later, the Golden Knights get it done. So living
Yeah,
large.
shout out. I was gonna get to that, but shout out to the city. Shout out to the city of Las Vegas for winning their first male men because the women did win a championship because the Aces were the first one to
Hey,
bring
they
this
did it
championship to
first.
the city. I
They
want
did it
I want
first.
people to put respect on the Las Vegas Aces, but I also want people to recognize that the VGK Vegas Golden Knights are NHL champions. First team, the first professional sports team to come to Las Vegas. And if we're being completely honest, they're the reason why all these other teams, with the A's, uh, and hopefully future for an NBA team to come out here, they're the reason why that professional sports is coming to Las Vegas. If we're being completely honest, because there was this before I even moved here, because the Vegas Golden Knights came out here the year I moved out here, which is like 6-7 years ago, if I remember correctly. Um, the stigma was always out there about Las Vegas, about how it's such a tourist place that there's no way a diehard fan base can actually be grown out here, and VGK Vegas Golden Knights actually proved that. So shout out to them. I wasn't out here for the parade. Dustin was out there when they won, but he wasn't. He chose to go to the Nuggets parade over VGK, which says a lot about him.
Respect,
Um,
bro.
I was actually out there for a concert and just so happened the flights lined up. All right. So, but
says a lot about him, right, Real?
hey, just to piggyback off of
It's
what you were
hockey,
saying
bro.
though, I,
Yeah,
I will I will piggyback off what you were saying though about the
yeah,
Golden Knights. They came
yep,
into the community when the community was hurting the most, and
right.
they showed as much help and like was something that took the mind off of what happened on October 1st,
Mm,
and they built that deep rooted connection with the fans. It's a miracle. If you ever get a chance, come see a game out here. You'll see the
yeah,
Vegas level entertainment.
yeah, and it's not just it's not the fair weather fans that people thought it was. It's not like
Nah.
not one of those states where you think it's going to be like 40% of the opposite team in the stands. Even with the Raiders, obviously, the Raiders has a deep, rich history, so it's all black in there. But yeah, I'm rambling. I don't even know how I got to that, but Dustin's here to do his victory lap on his Nuggets, but we'll get to that. We've been gone for a week and a half. I think, yeah, a week or so. We took last week off. I was in LA. I celebrated my girl's birthday along with Father's Day, along with Juneteenth in LA. Um, oh wait, Rell's here. How you doing, Rell? How's your pockets? How's your mental health? You look like you're real sleepy right now. For those who watch on YouTube.
Who's Gucci?
But yeah, but back to what I was saying. I went on a little vacation in LA. I went to the aquarium, I went to Six Flags, I went to Disneyland, I went to the zoo. Did a lot. I don't have to say this for I'm gonna say this for I'm a new father, a newish father. My daughter's 2. She's a toddler. Going to an amusement park with your daughter with a kid is a sport in its own, especially if your kid is as active as mine. Um, I had fun, but it's not for the faint of heart. I would say that it's not for the faint of heart, especially if you're trying to go in and enjoy yourself. Obviously, we didn't take her to Six Flags, but taking her to Disneyland for the first time, just she was a squirrel. Lennox was more obsessed with regular water fountains than like rides and other attractions. Like just just the most randomest you walking down a path and there's just a fountain just being there. She was obsessed with just random fountains than going to go see Mickey or Goofy or a big ass slide that she can
as
slide.
she should, because the beautiful things in life isn't Mickey and Goofy. It's the fountains. It's the fountains in the trees.
Look at you trying. Is that a word?
It's the truth.
Is that a word? Okay.
I mean, the happiest place on earth. They never paid my bill, so
okay. It surely took all my money out of my pocket. But yeah, I had a good time. It's always cool to go back to the city and see what it's about. All right, so obviously we're recording this on Thursday. We're recording this literally during the second round of the NBA draft. We'll talk about NBA draft stuff, but obviously there's been a lot of stuff that we missed in the week that was gone. So obviously I want to do not list stuff, but I also want to start off by saying, like, I don't want to talk about the Titanic thing, submarine situation, unless you guys want to hit on. Because like at first I wanted to just make jokes, but people are actually gone now. Like before, like yesterday was cool to make jokes, right? But now today that it doesn't look as good as I
just don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know why it went to that point. Personally, like I don't know why everybody like the fact that Celine Dion's song is number 12 on the Billboard charts now on streaming right now. Like
this is not funny, bro. So you trying to make jokes? You trying to make jokes? No, well, you know why it's number. You know why it's up there, because TikTokers are making jokes. I mean,
life is funny when you really think about it. So
I don't want to make jokes because people actually lost their lives.
People die every fucking day, B.
I don't want to make jokes. I'm trying to be as serious as possible.
It's a nigga. It's 5 niggas in Chirac just got shot. Just saying.
Thoughts and prayers and condolences to everybody that was affected by this. Dustin, do you have anything to add about this? Dustin doesn't even look like you want to touch this. Dustin's so cool.
Prayers for my niggas who died in the street today.
I just have so much jokes to say. Like it's like biting your tongue.
Say him.
Cool.
There's nothing wrong with it.
In the most serious way possible, because I don't want to be insensitive, because people it's not confirmed, but it's based. People have confirmed it, but like ain't nobody's been showing up. Like no, but like thoughts, prayers, in the most serious way possible. Thoughts, prayers, condolences to everybody that's been affected by that situation, and I hope anyway, man, bro he really hate me when I'm PC and I'm just trying to do the right thing and just trying to be responsible on a platform that get listened to in other countries. I'm trying to be responsible here. Anyway, all right, man. So not list. There was so much stuff that I had on a not list, and some of it was just old, from the week prior. So I just try to condense it, and I'm just gonna make this as short and sweet as possible. So for those who are new to the program, first of all, welcome. But the not list is compiled of stuff that we're gonna talk about that normally wouldn't make the list or whatever. So number one on the not list, this is a congratulations to Tyler Perry, because he recently purchased VH1 and BET. He's the first Black owner of both of the BET and VH1 in the last 21 years. So congratulations, Tyler Perry. I don't watch those.
I got a list of things I want to get brought back. Can I give them out real quick?
Sure, please.
First off,
here we go.
We bring back Cedar's World. It was one of the best shows at 2:00 for BET. I love Cedar's World. Bring it back. Bring it back, Cedar's World. Second off, Big Tig is not doing anything. Rhapsody in the Basement needs to be on at 3:00. Fourth thing. It is what it is.
Bring back one at 60 Park while you at it too.
It is what it is. Needs to be for mix a little bit of sports. Cameron and Mace doing their thing over there. Get your ESPN purchase back. Pat McAfee, go ahead and purchase it. It is what it is. Bring it over, sit in the 4:00 slot. Now I've mapped this all out. So we got See This World at 2, big ticket at 3. It is what it is at 4. Now 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, that's what we're gonna do our 106 in Park, but it's gonna be a new thing, it's gonna be a new John. It's gonna be cracking, it's gonna be all new performances. That shit gonna be cracking. Around 8
who do you
p.m.
want? Who do you want hosting in this era? Who do you want hosting? I was gonna make a bad joke right now, but it's not. It's the sensitivity is just bad right now for this particular person.
DC Young Fly.
That's what I was gonna say, but it's just like I don't know if I should bring him up right now because of what just recently happened to him. But I think DC Young Fly would actually be awesome.
I mean, his personality fits.
I think he'd be the perfect host if that was never really
shouldn't deter him from a job opportunity.
Yeah.
So now we're at 8. So now I got the whole 4. I got the whole prime. 8 o'clock we show a Tubi movie. Or one of the Tyler Perry movies where he exploits black men for being piece of shit fathers and cheaters and manipulative men. So
don't forget Martin reruns. Don't forget Martin reruns.
Yeah, we show Martin and Sanford and Son. But this is the key point. Around 2:45 p.m., a.m. and a.m. in the morning, you need to bring back BET Uncut.
And just play Tip Drill over and over and over again.
No. There's several. I got top 3 songs from BET Uncut. Tip Drill.
Yep.
The Real Right There video, and I Ain't Got No Panties on the dance floor. So those are the top 3 BET Uncut songs. So there you go, Tyler Perry. I just mapped it out for you, and then so I could be ratings will be through the roof. Rap City, the basement back. Come on, man.
You brought up like 7 other things, and the first thing you want to bring was Rap City, the basement.
See This World?
Hey, man. Honestly, there is a way to make. I would just throw money at all these influencers that have platforms and just put them, just like basically what ESPN is doing. How they just bought Pat McAfee and just bought all his boy because he already established his own audience. Just buy people, overpay for people who have their own audience, and put it on your platform. I think it's genius when you're if you have the budget for it, obviously, and you got to be smart. But yeah,
ESPN just trash it at this point.
That's what their plan is. I think that's why they got JJ now. That's not the sole reason why they got JJ.
I don't really, but even now Shannon's supposed to be going to the McAfee spot on the FanDuel channel.
I heard about that too.
So,
all right. So this one, damn, I wasn't done looking this up, but all right. So this one came out yesterday through the ring or through the wire. What do you guys think about this Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg cage match that they're talking about, man?
Let's fucking do it.
So, I don't even know how it came about, to be honest with you. I thought I saw a tweet of Elon Musk talking about something, and Zuckerberg basically said, "Let's do it." But Dana White came out today and called Mark. And Mark was like, "Is he serious?" And he said, "I don't know. I'm gonna ask him." And he called Elon. And Elon said he's dead serious. So McAfee. Damn. Dana White basically said this would be the biggest fight on the planet. I agree.
I would buy it.
I would buy it $100. Yeah, what? I'm crazy as hell.
This is first off, who wants to see two athletic billionaires fight each other? The only way this shit to get done right. First off, nobody wants to see 2 people who can't fight. That's the worst shit ever.
Rell, have you seen all the undercards for all those other fights that Floyd's been fighting at? What are you talking about?
No, what they really need, they're in the right area, but they're in the wrong zone. They just go with one network and let Triple H take care of it.
Here we go.
Hell yeah. WWE that shit.
WWE, because nobody wants to see these 2 unathletic motherfuckers fight. They're not gonna really go ham after each other. Like, they're fat, unathletic dudes. Like, they look.
Mark Zuckerberg is not fat. Elon is a little fat.
I would be kind of worried for Elon
because I'm just saying, professional fighters are professionals for a reason.
Yeah, but Zuckerberg just won his like jujitsu or karate like championship type thing.
Yeah,
like
so
tournament.
like this is how much
But
of
that ain't boxing.
I started looking it up because I know there'd be bets for this and it'd be wagers on the betting markets and stuff. So Elon Musk is 51 years old. He's 6'1". There's no weight obviously listed because he's not an athlete. Zuckerberg is 39,
Fat
about to
as
turn
fuck.
40. He's 5'9". So there's a little bit of weight. There's a little bit of height discrepancy. But I would love to see it. I ain't gonna front.
This ain't gonna be better than Trump, Vince McMahon. I'll tell you that.
I
much.
was gonna say, well, let's have Trump be the referee. Let's just make this the wildest shit ever. Let's make Trump the special guest referee.
Hey,
It wasn't better than Trump, Vince McMahon. What he
And obviously, okay, and if Trump can't be the referee, let's just go ahead and have Biden versus Trump. Let's just do it. Let's just go all
We
out.
need a rematch of
Let's
Trump
go all
versus
out,
Vince.
man.
Yeah, I
Battle
think
of
Trump
the
versus
billionaires.
Vince would be a good rematch. I think that
We
would.
need the rematch.
We need
Mama's
the
dead.
rematch. I agree. We need the rematch.
Would it be in jail? Because I don't know if Trump is still in jail because nobody knows where he's at right now. Anyway, I thought that was funny, but I would love to see it. I'm gonna just go ahead and stamp in and say I personally would love to see it. Number 3 on the not list. This one is actually a surprise. I didn't think this was gonna happen. I didn't think this was possible for this streaming service, but apparently Wednesday has overtaken Stranger Things as the most watched show on Netflix, which is kind of wild, especially in the time span as far as Wednesday has been out. But I think, but this was reported by Netflix itself, so I was like, "Holy shit, that's kind of crazy." And I don't remember a whole lot of people talking about Wednesday like they talk about Stranger Things, but what do I know?
It's got
Wednesday was good though.
playing.
I like Jenny Ortega.
I haven't
Wednesday
watched
was good
because I didn't care for the Addams Family growing up. So
that says a lot. All right, Dustin. We're gonna talk about this here. Sorry, Rell. 4 on the not list. This is just I've never done this. This is just a Kevin special. Me clearing out and saying I don't care what the numbers say. I enjoyed the Flash movie. I did. I don't care that it flopped. I don't care if it bombed. I honestly don't care. So this is my stat, and of course I had to bring up stats. So everybody wants to talk about how bad the numbers were for the Flash, right? They want to talk about how awful it did at the box office for its opening weekend, right? It's actually not the worst DC movie that has coming out in recent years that do awful at the box office. So let me read you some other movies that came out from DC that did worse than Flash.
Was Green Lantern on that list?
No, well, a part of the DCEU, so like the newer-ish ones. So both Shazam movies did way worse than the Flash. Both Shazam movies. Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn spin a second movie for Harley Quinn, did worse than
actually wasn't a bad movie.
Million. Huh?
That wasn't a bad movie.
I didn't say it was a bad movie.
I liked it.
I liked it too. The second Suicide Squad did way worse than the Flash movie, and also Wonder Woman 84. Without I could have told you that off the top of my head. So I know a lot of critics. So critically, it's doing okay on Rotten Tomatoes as far as the last time I looked. But I know a lot of people are just killing it because Rail's boy, James Gunn, decided to just take a flamethrower to the end and literally destroy this universe while there's still movies coming out. Which makes no sense.
No, because he's seen them. Because he saw Wonder Woman 1984, and he said, "You know what? No, I can't. I'm not gonna put my name to this. I saved the Marvel franchise with Guardians of the Galaxy when I came when
you're real low, Jet. You're real low.
I saved Marvel when I came out with Guardians of the Galaxy. So
he saved Marvel.
Oh yeah, he saved Marvel. And now he's gonna take his talents to DC and he's gonna rebuild DC. He wants nothing to do with it. He saw Wonder Woman 1994 and said, "Fuck this." and then he had to Rob Pelinka the shit. He came in and Rob Pelinka the roster. You know.
Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, from what I've heard and seen on like TikTok and everything, they pretty much did the same version of the comic book. Like their comic book scene, like before they started this new one, was dog shit, and they pretty much just had the Flash just fuck it all up, and then they just started a brand new like timeline. And I'm glad he's starting over, but I got one fucking bone to pick. If I get another fucking Batman beginning or another Superman beginning story,
it's coming.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
We get another Superman, and that's the first one we're getting to. That's the first one that James Gunn has really put his fingers into.
Yeah,
the next
we don't need any more origins of Batman.
Don't need any more.
We don't need no origins of Batman.
This is the first rebuild. We gave Marvel 5 fucking phases and said nothing about it. Dog shit.
Well, because they were all good besides the last phase, Rell. Every phase besides the last phase was good.
Spider-Man rebuilds have we had?
Okay,
You know
but
I haven't agreed to that, but that's because the studios are different. This is the same studio rebooting.
No, but this is with the mind of James Gunn at the helm of it. So it's not just your average movie coming out. It's your average movie coming out with James Gunn behind it.
Okay. You know what? You sold me on the James Gunn. You sold me.
And Dustin, I've said this in our group chat with Jesse and Jeff. Whatever movie James Gunn has his hands on first, because he's quick. When he did his little thing at I forgot what con he was at, and he did the little video where he was showing all the stuff that he was talking about, all the movies that was coming out when he announced that he was taking over the DCEU. Whichever one he has his full control of, because he's already said The Flash was already done, Shazam was already done, all these other movies were already done, and he had no hand. Like, these was already greenlit, and he has no hands on these ones. So these ones he's just got to let fly. Whichever ones he's fully in control of, and it's ass, I'm coming on here and flaming him. So I'm just letting Rell know. Letting everybody, the audience know.
First off, you rate a scale of movie because I like something. You like Fast and Furious movies, and
do I?
Your money,
do I?
Watch them, right? Yeah, you like them because you fucking put your money into them. I don't put my money.
I'm trying to finish the franchise. I haven't said the Fast and the Furious movie has been good for a while. I haven't said one's been good.
All I'm gonna say is James Gunn came out with Peacemaker, and that shit was an epic show. Which I didn't think John Cena could act, and I was like, "Oh shit, this shit is a good show." Second off, he got his fingerprints all over this Penguin shit that's coming out on HBO. That's about to be nutty.
That Penguin show, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Like he's already just in it already. He just can't do it all at once. He has to. Fucking Rome was a building a day. Damn.
Bro. All I gotta say is don't let his first full-length movie where his hands is on.
He's still casting for Superman Legacy.
When I see a movie start and then it says a James Gunn film, I'm on his ass.
You gotta make sure DC is the title because James Gunn do a lot of shit.
I'm on his ass.
All I'm gonna say is he's still casting for Superman Legacy, and I think that's gonna be the first drop. He's still working on it. He's not even sure who's gonna be the Superman. That's the main thing, but we're working on it.
We'll figure it out. All right, that's it for now.
Okay, can you mention one last thing? I just want to say before we end the night tonight, this is a special occasion. The last Young Thug possibly ever Thug album might be dropping tonight.
Heard about that.
And I just want everybody to, just take a little time to appreciate what we're going to listen to tonight.
I got a question for you, Rell. Ooh, I got a question.
Words. And listen to the words.
I got a question for you, Rell.
About to hear.
Did you listen to the Gunn album?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Don't listen to Rats.
So no, we'll talk about that for another time. I don't want to do that.
Dirk called him a rat.
Get you upset. That's cool.
Anyway, hold on. Who Thug rat
on? I'm just saying. So you condone everything that Young Thug's raps about shooting kids allegedly and killing kids?
He didn't do nothing. He ain't do none of that shit, bro. Right. YSL is just the record label.
Okay, cool. All right. All right. So let's get to the show.
I've never seen another black man more happy to excoriate another black man with a gun charge. That's crazy to me.
I was just asking questions, bro. Just
Why
asking.
another black man wanted you quick to throw a gun charge on another nigga?
I didn't pull anything.
That's crazy.
I didn't pull a thing. I just asked the question. All right, man. So obviously a lot is happening in the NBA, and obviously it's still happening as the draft is going on right now. But I don't even know where to begin besides the Washington Wizards that's fucked up the entire NBA. It took them 3 years to figure out. I mean, shit. It took them this year to figure out they needed to blow up their team when everybody in the NBA knew 3-4 years ago that they should probably dismantle this team that wasn't good enough. I would say the last year when John Wall was there, they should have, tore it down to the studs, but they decided to stick by Bradley Beal, who didn't Bradley Beal win the scoring title 1 year? I think he won the scoring title one year, right? He averaged 30 1 year, if I remember. I think he won. If he didn't win, he was like second. So they stuck by Bradley Beal, thinking he was a number one. Speaking of Batman, thinking he was a Batman, but he's real Aquaman-ish. And now, by them tearing their whole team down, they virtually send ripple effects throughout the NBA that has affected, title odds and everything.
He never won the scoring title.
He was close though, right? He was like second or third. Yeah,
it was a hard year.
Yeah, he was close. But I'm saying this to say that obviously, if you don't know by now, that Chris Paul has been traded to the Golden State Warriors. But that was part of the Wizards effect. That's probably going to be the name of this podcast, the Wizards effect. Because even before that, Bradley Beal was moved to the Phoenix Suns, which swing title odds, making them the second favorite to win the championship behind some team that plays in Colorado. I can't think of their name off the top of my head. Some team that lives in Colorado, that resides in Colorado. But yeah, man. So we have a lot to talk about just this. So Dustin, I'm gonna start with you. So the Chris Paul trade, and if you want to take it to the Beal trade, and if you want to take it to other parts.
Well, let's start first by saying, how serious is this Brogdon injury? Let's start there, because isn't that the whole ripple effect that ended up causing the second wave?
That caused the Marcus Smart trade, yes.
Yeah.
Because originally it was Brogdon being moved to the Clippers in a 3-team trade, right?
Yeah. And yeah, that's just wild. But
that's crazy. I got jokes for that too. How are the Clippers saying no to medicals? Can you even see Kawhi Leonard's medicals? Fuck out of here.
What about Paul George's?
Fuck out of here. Saying no to medicals.
No, I would.
You guys even know what medicals look like?
Yeah, right. I would definitely say the Bradley Beal trade was I was really surprised that he ended up in Phoenix. I don't know what the fuck the Suns are doing out there. I think they just think they can get 3 guys that can play no defense and just shoot the ball. It might work, but we'll see. And then I'm just curious to see what they end up doing with Ayton, because it wasn't Ayton's whole thing. He wanted a bigger role.
I disagree. Book and KD are not bad defenders.
Yeah, they're not bad defenders.
You only really,
I would even say Bill. I know a lot of people hasn't watched the Wizards. I know a lot of people don't watch the Wizards, and you shouldn't, to be honest with you. But Bill, when he gives a fuck and tries, can actually be a solid defender. And
that one series versus Boston,
he's straight.
But
he's not a liability. I would say he's average.
You got to worry about motherfuckers getting fricasseed. I don't think anybody's gonna get fricasseed on that side.
But you also got to remember, between him and KD for this past year, they both didn't even play 60 games.
That's the biggest issue.
And that, to me, how top heavy.
That's weird. That's not normal for Devin Booker. Devin Booker's he's not, I wouldn't say he's an Iron Man, but he's been healthy for a lot of his career.
I guarantee with this new CBA, we're going to see a lot of people playing through a little bit more hamstrings that
people want to be first team all whatever. People want to be all-star selections. I know a lot of people didn't like the 65 game mark situations, but I kind of like it, to be honest with you, because it makes players give a fuck again.
Because
especially now that
KD probably won't care, but Book will care still. Book
cares. Book has he's got incentives.
We know who cares in the league.
KD's go ahead.
Like they said after they won the championship, the Larry O'Brien Trophy goes through Denver.
Yes, we are clearly aware that it goes to Denver. But back to the trade. So
I just think
it's personal next year, Dustin. I'm telling you right now. Hey, can I game days? I don't want to talk to you. Your bum ass coach been running his mouth too much.
Look, I told him, you wasn't here when I was talking to him. I was like, Mike Malone been real spicy. He need to just go away for a little bit. Just go away.
It's personal next year, Dustin.
Can I be honest with you?
Here we go.
I fucking hate Mike Malone. When he started talking his shit like that, I was like, bro, you're not even good to be running your goddamn mouth this way. You're just lucky you stumbled.
Bro, you almost got fired a couple years ago.
Yeah, bro. If he listen, the hot rumor is when Calvin Booth came in as the GM this year, he went in and told Mike Malone, hey, if you don't get me into the championship game, we're gonna let your ass go. And guess what?
Thank God.
Thank God he did.
Thank God he got Joker. That's all I'll say.
No, thank God. But I was praying.
That's my biggest point.
Praying for us to fire Mike Malone.
And that's my biggest point. It's like, bro, you're literally hiding behind a dude. Like, it is not even like one of the players best in the league. Like, Joker's an all-time dude. Yes, you become Phil Jackson when you land fucking, Nikola Jokic and he start winning you championships. Yes. Now sit there and make sure that ball.
I would say this though, as much as we're giving him grief, I don't want to just make this a Mike Malone thing. He did press the right buttons in some series. I'll give him his flowers and his credit a little bit.
Oh, he definitely did.
He pressed the right buttons, bro. In some of the series, he did.
I'm telling you, Mike Malone's main assistant.
He's not a ball roller, as you would say.
Mike Malone's main top assistant. I can't think of his name right now. That's really the fact that he's not coach of the team.
As you would say, Rell, he's not a ball. I wouldn't call him a ball roller. I think he coaches. I wouldn't call him a ball roller. But back let's get back on topic. Back to the trade. I mean, as far as the Suns, it's definitely a wait and see until the roster is complete. The Aiden thing is kind of weird. He was already upset when he was a third option. Now this firmly pushes him to the fourth option. So I do think they eventually have to move him, but we'll see how that goes. I wonder if they break Aiden up they need to break Aiden up into like three guys, and maybe they might be able to just break him up into two, and we'll see how that part goes. So I know a lot of people are down on Aiden, but DeAndre Aiden, but 17-10 is 17-10. He's viable. He's probably, if you want to just rank centers, he's not less than the seventh best center in the NBA, and that says something. Rell, there's 30 teams in NBA. If you're the seventh best center, that says something. Don't do that.
He's valuable. I just don't like him as a player.
I feel you.
I mean, I
wouldn't want him, but if you're the seventh best out of 30, that's pretty good.
And people forget Nikola Jokic once said that he was his toughest defender.
And actually, after 5, you can convince me he's fifth. You can convince me.
Jokic did say that about Aiden.
Jokic said that Aiden was his toughest defender. I went back and did the work, and so
if we're counting AD as a center, whatever, like DeAndre, you can't name firmly 6 that are because just better than him.
He's strong. He's 7 foot, and he's not going to get
17-10 is 17-10. That's
now. I don't know if he likes catching the basketball. I don't know if he likes finishing around the rim, and I don't know if he likes dunking because it hurts his hands. So those are all issues when you're big, because you need to dunk the ball sometimes, but it hurts.
All right, so to the Chris Paul and going to the Warriors thing. This trade blew me away.
I didn't even get off my other first one. In the first trade you were talking about.
Go ahead. Well, we started talking about Mike Malone, so we couldn't get to the actual trade. I'm sorry. Go, please.
So on the first half of this trade, What was the original trade? Was we talking about what was the deal again?
We was talking about I started with the Chris Paul, then we somehow jumped to the Bill trade because Destin talk about the Bill trade.
Well, the Bill trade. I want to talk about
Destin's
the Bill trade.
fault for talking about the Bill trade.
The Bill trade. On the Bill trade real quick. I don't have a problem with them taking this swing because I think you got to kind of acquire assets and then figure out the other pieces because it's harder to just keep trying to rotate in and out role players each year that may or may not fit with So I don't have a problem with them getting Bill overall. I mean, so I just want to say that overall. I just want to say I think the super team is going to be really good. Actually, I think it's going to fit because I like Bradley Beal as an off the ball shooter. I mean, I think if it's point book, which
all those people who were talking about fit, I was like, I immediately. Again, I'm not the smartest X's and O person, but I'm still learning X's and O's. I watch a whole lot of shit, but all these players are good. All three of these players are elite at shooting. I think they'll be able to find ways to play together. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of a guy that used to be a number one accepting that these two other guys that I've just joined are better than me, and me just filling in where I need to fill in.
Brad knows that.
I think Brad knows that.
I mean, wasn't that
these two dudes are clearly better than me?
Wasn't that almost the same situation that KD just left not too long ago? I mean, in Brooklyn,
no, because Harden is clearly a point guard. Harden's a guard. Like Harden plays point. Like Harden. This stage of Harden, and even that stage of Harden doesn't want to shoot that much. He rather just set up Kyrie and KD while getting and ones and stuff. But I think obviously everybody this goes without saying. People in the playoffs against the Denver Nuggets, everybody saw Devin Booker play a lot of point guard, would have the ball in his hand. So I think expect to see a lot of that. I do expect them to still try to go out and get a guard that can, take some burden off of him. Huh?
What about Campaign?
That dude's got the ugliest jump shot I've ever seen in the league, bro.
I mean, Cam, he might start. They're paying him like 10 a year, if I remember correctly.
They're supposed to be really high on this Jordan Goodwin kid.
So, we'll see how that goes. But, so are you guys done with the Bill trade?
Okay, yeah.
So where so second in the West, right? Is that where we have him? Rell probably feels differently. Second in the West.
I have him. They're top 4 in the West. Yes, it's gonna be a mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, I'm not holding you to this because literally free agency starts in a couple days. So all this is reluctantly to change. But as of today, draft day, Thursday, second in the West.
No.
Who you got in second in the West then?
Second in the West, I would definitely say it's gonna have to be Memphis or Sacramento. Yeah.
You said Memphis. Okay. All right.
Hey, no, real shit. Memphis is nice on paper.
Okay, so let's get to that one real quick. Let's
put the guns down.
So let's get to that one real quick. I have that one pulled up in my phone so I can get all the particulars out.
Well, originally that trade. So this is where we were talking about in the beginning, or where I kind of brought it up, is the trade that got canceled.
Yeah.
And
so this is so that was part 1 of the Wizards ripple effect. This is part 2 of the Wizards ripple effect of tearing it down. So obviously, we're talking about the trade that sent Marcus Smart to the Memphis Grizzlies. So it was Kristaps Porzingis going to the Boston Celtics for a 2023 first round pick and a 2024 first round pick. The Wizards received Tyus Jones, a 35th overall pick for this year. Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and the Grizzlies just get Marcus Smart, which to me just says Marcus Smart has all this value, which is kind of crazy. Before I let you guys go, this is what I made of it. So yes, the Grizzlies got better. Obviously, missing, being suspended for those 25 games is going to be a big deal. Ultimately, this is how I took it. I think the Grizzlies did a 3-1. So I feel like the Grizzlies gave a lot. I feel like giving up that much draft capital, how it's always weird when a team that trades that receives the best player and receives the best trade assets is just strange to me. Like Boston, to me, just seems like they got way too much in this deal.
I agree.
But I feel like the Grizzlies, they got 3-1. So like Marcus Smart, obviously he just fits in with grit and grind. He looks like he's gonna just obviously during the suspension of Ja Morant, gonna slide into that starting point guard role, and then when Ja comes back, he'll probably slide to the bench. Play
slide to the 2.
Jones role, and then he'll probably play the Dylan, and then he'll probably.
I thought he'll slide to the 2 and play with Ja and Bane and
I can see that too. That's what I was gonna. That was what I was getting to right there. I was gonna say, see, for the 25 games, I see him taking the starting role, right, in being not de facto Ja, but just starting in place of Ja. Then he's gonna take the Dylan Brooks role, right? He's gonna probably guard the best perimeter defenders. That. He's a better shooter than Dylan Brooks. He's a better decision maker. He's just an overall. He just doesn't have the same size as Dylan Brooks, right? But then he's going to take Titus Jones' spot as far as coming off the bench when they're fully healthy. I mean, fully healthy when Josh's suspension is over. So I really think they got 3 players in 1 player. They just need Marcus Smart to be healthy. That's what I think.
I think they'll sign somebody because I don't think he's going to come off the bench. I think they'll sign somebody to start. And that backup.
But I saw the vision. Like I literally saw the vision when they signed him. I was like, oh, no, they filled up the Dylan Brooks role with Marcus Smart because he can do everything that Dylan Brooks does and more. He fills the Titus role. He fills the Titus Jones role because you have the backup point guard, and it's 25 games. It's 25 games. So.
Yeah, and Memphis has, to me, they have good depth. They have players who I liked in their rookie year, like Terrence Williams was a lottery pick, and he fell out of the rotation.
What's the dude that plays karate? Why don't they try and play him?
Yeah, Terrence Williams. And
was it Terrence Williams?
No, I thought it was Zaire.
Zaire was
there.
Zaire's been going up and down between the
he's been. I feel like you got to play him though.
But then they're high on these.
They played him as rookie, and they didn't play him last year.
Then they're hiring these other 2 kids like Roddy and Lofton Jr.
Right, big body Roddy.
Well, and then you also got to remember too, Clark is coming back.
From ACL.
He's coming back. But then they had that.
Xavier Tillman was serviceable for 25 games.
Yeah, definitely. This is coming. I'm gonna take us on a quick tangent. Dustin, who do you think is the best Joker defender?
Who do I think is the best?
Who's the best big center that you've seen guard Joker?
Until this year, I would have said Ayton.
This year, you would have said Ayton. Okay.
But I still think Anthony Davis still has like a fully healthy, invested Anthony Davis is like the perfect guy that you have guarding them.
So when I was going through my head, so one of my pods was doing a list of like the best defenders that they were listing the best defenders on Joker. And they brought up some really good statistics on Steven Adams. Apparently Steven Adams is one of the best Joker defenders in the league. I mean, it makes sense. Steven Adams is like Joker's not bullying Steven Adams.
No. He's one of the strongest dudes in the league.
Yeah, like he's not bullying Steven Adams. So it made me think I was just thinking that for the Lakers standpoint, like how can the Lakers acquire Steven Adams? But Steven Adams makes so much money and he's just not good offensively anymore. So
I know, and they know they need him. They know.
Yeah, like he's.
And on top of it, though, too, Steven Adams hasn't been healthy, and like
that's what I'm saying. But like, you just literally keep him healthy. You just like next year, I'm good. Whenever the Denver Nuggets plays the Grizzlies and Steven Adams healthy, I want to watch that matchup because now I want to see it with my own eyes. I saw a little bit of it, and you just see highlights, but I want to see it during gameplay. But anyway, So. What'd you guys think of the trade? I know I rambled about the Marcus Smart trade. I didn't even touch on Kristaps. So if you guys want to touch on Kristaps and think about what's this do for Boston? I see a lot of people thinking Boston's number 1 in the East now, which is kind of crazy to me.
What are they doing with 3 big guys right now? What are they going to do?
Robert Williams insurance.
Yeah, I agree.
He's always hurt.
But
Al Horford's the grandpa.
You can play. You can rotate three bigs the way they are because, like you said, Robert Williams breaks his wrist every other game.
Or you just pull a Cavs the year that they drafted Mobley and brought in Jared Allen when they had Marketing, Mobley, and
Well, I mean, Porzingis is the
All-Stars.
kind of player you can play at the three, but I don't think they'll ever play that big. But they'll rotate. He'll start next to Rob. Honestly, I would start him next to Rob, because he can stretch the floor. Or you can even, like I said, when Rob goes to the bench, you slide him to the center, and Horford plays the big and the dunker role, and he's the pick and popper. Horford, I really love it, and Horford's in a minute role where he needs to be at 20 minutes a game. They
but you don't need Horford playing 30 anymore. You need to.
No, you need him. 20
but you got
to.
But you also got to look at his contract. His contract is up.
He makes
there.
a lot of money. I know he's been to other franchises, but they treat him like he's their own. Like he's treated as a Celtic.
He's their UD. He's there.
They treat him.
He's gonna fill out their contract, and they're taking care of his family now.
I know he's been to other places. I know he's been to Philly, and I know he's been to Oklahoma City, where he literally got to sit down for a whole year and get paid. Obviously, he went to Atlanta, but they treat him like a Celtic.
Because you're not gonna dump Horford for a starting spot, and anybody gonna eat that fucking contract if you're not giving up no picks because he's a stiff. I mean, at this point, he's gonna give you good minutes, but it's limited now. You're not getting 40 minutes of good play. You're getting so he's only on one more year after this, and it's like 10 million a year.
Basically, they'll have money to free up, especially with Brogdon. I mean, depending if they keep Brogdon, if they can keep that relationship, because Brogdon literally 8 hours ago thought he was going to be a Clipper.
Injured, so what can he be mad about?
I know. I'm just saying. I mean, if players are sensitive, if somebody thinks they got traded for whole 8 hours and it falls through, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard
wasn't that long.
That relationship.
It wasn't 8 hours.
Isn't he one of the union reps right now?
I don't know. I think he. I'm not sure. I don't remember the new representation.
Yeah, I think it is him.
And obviously now we can get to the. So now we can get to the final piece of the Wizards trade, because Chris Paul, who was, in limbo, but technically in my mind a Wizard, got traded for Jordan Poole. So the Warriors literally put an end to their two timelines theory. There's no more two timelines. They're going for the now. They trade for Chris Paul, which I just think is wild because of all the battles Chris Paul and Steph have had. And I know Chris Paul's 38 years old, and I know I've talked about this on a previous podcast. I still think he's good. I think he's way overqualified to be just a bench starter, a bench point guard. I think there's teams that could still use him, namely the Lakers. Could have used him at the starting point guard spot. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know, again, and I don't want to question Steve Kerr and Mike Dunleavy. I mean, like, Steve Kerr is just one of the most brilliant, smart, coaches of all time. But it's going to be interesting to see how they make this work, because the offense is built around Draymond and that dribble handoff and Steph and Clay running a whole lot. So it's just interesting to see, like, what is Chris Paul going to be doing in that time frame.
I think I got a light bulb idea. I kind of see the image here. I think they did the Chris Paul trade as Draymond insurance, right? Because what you could do is you can have Chris Paul be.
They're not a championship team if they don't keep Draymond, though. Like, that's why.
Yeah, but
you're not the only person that said that. It's like, if y'all lose Draymond, you guys are not championship contenders anymore.
But then what happens if you also lose out on Clay? Because you also got to think about that too, right?
You can lose Clay. Clay turned into Dylan Brooks in the Western semifinals.
Yeah, but this
Clay was the biggest reason why the Lakers beat the Warriors. To be honest with you, him not showing up was the biggest reason why the Lakers won in 6.
Yeah,
turned into Dylan Brooks.
This is how I look at it, right? You lose out on Clay and Draymond, right? You move Curry to the 2, you keep Wiggins at the 3. You finally say, all right, Kuminga, you're running the 4, and then and Looney there. Or if you somehow keep Klay Thompson, you move Klay to the 3 and move Wiggins to the 4, and then Wiggins can be the new Draymond.
Wiggins cannot do what Draymond does, but I see get your sentiment.
I think now I'm kind of with you, Kevin. Like now, after thinking about it, I was like, I thought Draymond was gone, but now I don't think so anymore because you need with Draymond.
They're not a championship team without him. Like
they're not, but I think
we saw a little bit of the
move.
dribble handoff stuff when Draymond didn't play in one of the Laker games, right? Or was it the Kings game? He didn't play. He got suspended in one of the Kings game, right? In the playoffs. We saw Looney do some of that dribble handoff stuff, and while Looney did it pretty good, it was like 75%, but it's not what Draymond brings to the table. And Looney's really good.
You get a whole off season to
they're
work
just
that
not
shit
a
out.
championship team without him. They're just not. So I understand the insurance thing. Rell and I was talking in our chat earlier about just like the Warriors got to worry about their tax bill, and I'm just like, with the second apron, I'm just like the Suns, like they're not worried about the second apron until the year after. Like next year, they're saying, "Fuck, we're just gonna blow through the second apron."
And kind of now they kind of like in a position where they're the attraction, where they cool now. Where Phoenix is going, Phoenix is now saying, we cool, we got our 5. If you want to play here, you probably gonna have to do it on some MIDI shit. So now then what they're gonna say is, we're Golden State, we cool. So if you want to come here, you're gonna come here for the mid-level.
And with the new, there's not a lot of teams that have money right now, right? As far as if you're a ring chaser guy, like you want to win a title, like you don't want to go to Detroit. Like the teams that have money is like who? San Antonio, Detroit,
the Rockets,
the Rockets. I just saw right now on Twitter Utah. That the Kings just opened up $30 million by trading Holmes. So that's a good team. So that's one of the first. That's like an actual good title. I mean, quote unquote contender that you can go to that actually has money. But how many teams are like that? There's not a lot of teams
you think the Kings will get in on that Draymond? That's what I think.
The Kings are gonna. If I don't, this is what I think, and this I haven't read anything on Twitter. This is just me putting 2 and 2 together. I think everything that's happening with the Wizards, like all the musical chairs have started going, and everybody's finding where to sit and everything. Kuzma's looking around like, do I really want to sit here and just watch Jordan Poole put up shots and get paid? Like there was sources yesterday said that Kuzma's like searching for $30 million a year, which is fucking crazy. Hey, Kuz, let me tell you a secret. You ain't getting $30 million a year, bro.
Yeah, he is. Huh? If Austin Reeves is getting 25, why can't Kuzma get 30 when he's
I don't think Kuz is getting
on a shorter deal. 3 for 30.
Actually, let me reframe. He can get $30 million a year. He can get it for a bad team.
Utah, that's not a bad team.
That's true. He can go back to Utah. You're right. So I didn't think about Utah. But I was thinking, why wouldn't Kuz try to go to Sacramento if they don't keep Harrison Barnes?
That's a good fit. I like
that fit. I like that fit, right? That's just me off the dome too, because I thought about the space that just opened up. Kuz, I'm sure if I'm Kuzma, I would want to live in California.
I like not to go here, but in inevitable, I believe the Dame trade coming. I like Jeremy Grant for that $30 million. More so than Kuzma.
Oh, for Sack?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
I think Grant is a more a 4-3 and Kuz is more of a 3-4, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, but I think Grant plays up better. He can play 3. He can play 3, but he plays up more, and Kuzma is better guarding smalls and playing 3-4, and he can go up 4 if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to go there and make $30 million, I think that's a dope ass fit too. But yeah, I was just in my head when I'm thinking about, because now in my head I'm thinking about all the players that like doesn't have any obvious landing spots. Like Kuz doesn't have an obvious landing spot. Wherever he goes is going to be somewhere where we're like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. So I was trying to, in my head, think about like Sack. I think since Sack, because like, why would Sack open up that cap space if they don't? I'm sure they're going to be shooting at people. They don't need a point guard, so they're not going for Fred. They don't need a I don't think they're gonna go for somebody like Gary Trent Jr. I don't think they're gonna.
No, because they like splitting the money.
I don't think they're gonna.
Minutes.
I don't think they're gonna throw money at Austin Reeves and see what's up with him. Like I just
no, they can be in
that.
The
so it's like who are they opening up
Kyle
space
Kuzma,
for?
Grant Williams.
Yeah, like were they trying to bring Grant Williams? Grant Williams is just Harrison Barnes, but Harrison Barnes might be a little better. They might get him. Right? Who would you rate? I mean, it depends. They both have.
Like I said, Kuzma,
Harrison Barnes
Kuzma's
and Grant Williams is kind of close.
So if you got the money and you got the contract, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So if you got $30 million to offer Kuzma ahead of time, then go ahead and do it because you can do it 3 for $30 because he's 27. You can even add a team option.
Yeah, you're gonna get the best. You're gonna get the best years of Kuzma. If whoever gets Kyle Kuzma right now, you're getting his prime. Like you're getting 27, 28.
But you may seem like 30 million was so astronomical when Austin Reeves about to get 20.
I don't think he's going to get the full 30.
With less, work on the books.
I think 30 is high for Kuz. If you're paying Kuz 30, he's the third. He's going to be the third best player. He's going to be the third best player on that team.
Yeah, he's been the third best player on the championship team already, Kevin.
Yeah, but he was making the low for that though.
Yeah, so look at his resume, and as I'm saying, he never got paid. He took a cheapie deal.
Yeah. I mean, I know he wants to cash out. So because that's why in my head, I think
24 making $25 million, that's so much worse than Kyle Kuzma 27 making 30. To me, it's the same.
I'm just saying I wouldn't bet on him making 30. I could be wrong. I don't know what these prices are gonna be. Everybody keeps saying that the Spurs are gonna throw money at Austin Reeves, whereas it's like I don't know.
We matched everything. Then talk about that.
I know they keep raising the price on Austin Reeves. All right. Does anybody want to hit on anything else since we were done with the trades? Does anybody want to talk about anything draft related? Obviously, the draft happened. It basically went chalk. It went Wemby, Brandon Miller to New Orleans, Scoot Henderson to Portland. It went the Thompson brothers back to back. Huh?
Charlotte.
I said Charlotte. My bad. I didn't say Charlotte.
No, you said New Orleans.
Oh, same thing. I'm just same. The Thompson brothers went back to back. Amin went to Houston, and what's the other one's name? Asur went to Detroit, and like everything else went. But Rell, I think we talked about it before. So why did Cam Whitmore drop as far as he did? There was projections that had him as high as 4, had him over the Thompson brothers. Why do you think he dropped so much?
They said it was workouts. I mean, but in the interviews, and then there was also some knee issue. But Woj came out and said it was like he didn't work out well. I don't know. Like to me, Villanova guys don't miss. In
I was thinking the same thing.
Trends: Bridges, Brunson, Hart,
Lowry,
Lowry. These guys. Jay Wright.
Long time ago, Dustin. But I get your sentiment.
But he's still under the Jay Wright tree. They
I know,
don't play for the same fucking coach. This is the first year Jay Wright hasn't been there. But Cam Whitmore, he just fell. You can't mess up with Villanova guys. Even at bare minimum, he's gonna play hard.
I don't like him at Houston either. I feel like
I love him.
There's so many young Houston guys, and they all want to play. Like they all want to play. They all want to prove themselves. They're all playing. They're all playing. They all want to bust their ass for their second contract, especially Jalen. He's going to be trying to bust his ass for his next contract because that's how it goes. And I don't know. We'll see.
Ime is an ass.
But Baba say Ime was the reason why I watch.
He don't give a fuck about your feelings. He's gonna make. And this is why I like what's going on because not only do you have Amin Thompson, who I think is the Marcus Morris of the two brothers. I think
he's a champion because Marcus Morris has a championship, right?
No, I think he's the better one. He's just the better one of the two brothers.
He's a champion because he won the championship with the Lakers.
Anyways, but I also like the Cam Whitmore pick. I like what they're building. Another team, I really like what they're doing. Honestly, I like what Portland's doing. I like Scoot Henderson in any other situation other than with LaMelo Ball because I personally want to see LaMelo Ball strive, and I feel like another ball handler would take away from LaMelo's playmaking ability. And I feel
can I ask you a question? So, Brandon Miller's still your guy, right? You stamped him. That's your man's?
Don't bring up that Paul George shit, bro.
I'm just asking you a question. That's your man's.
Yes. I mean, he's gonna be.
I just want you to stand by him. That's your man's.
Yeah, 6'9" shot creators. They don't fall off trees.
Dustin, we're on record. It's recorded. That's his man's.
Nah,
Who's my man's?
Nah. You bullied him into that one.
No, I asked him a question.
Well, first off, Scoot, he's gonna be good. I don't want to sit here and say like he's not gonna be good. He's gonna be incredible. You know, I mean, I have an issue with the fact that he couldn't stay healthy last year. That's an issue for me. But Brandon Miller, the film's there. The film's there.
I don't think you can necessarily blame Scoot for not being healthy when you take a knee from your own teammate, and then you get kind of taken out in the second game against Wemby because you hurt your ankle.
We was there for that. All three of us was there for that first game, Wemby, and Scoot showed out.
He showed out.
Scoot showed out.
Game, but that second game, he came out flat. And then Wemby came out clicking. And let me tell you, when Wemby's clicking, ooh. But speaking about G League Ignite, shout out to Leonard Miller and CD Uselko for getting drafted. CD went to the Spurs.
Yeah. Fire. Does anybody have anything else to say before we get out of here?
Free Monte Morris.
I just think
Brandon Miller
is just a 6'9" shot.
That's going to be the worst team in the league, by the way, by far now. Continue. I'm sorry.
Who, Washington?
Yes.
I kind of like what they're cooking over there, man.
That's going to be the worst team in the league. Mark it down.
But like I said, I just think Brandon Miller's shot creation was the only reason that separates him from him in school. You know, nowadays we have point guards coming to the league every fucking day that can't shoot. You know, so it's like you can't even say can Scoop even say that. People argue that Amon's better than Scoop as far as upside. Neither one of them can shoot and they both play make. We just haven't seen Amon. It was some weird mock drafts. You don't get 6'9" dudes who already can let it fly, and he has athleticism. So he's not a stiff. That's what pisses me about that Danny Granger comparison. Out of New Mexico State, Danny Granger was fucking fat for half of his career, and he then Paul
Danny Granger, as they would say, Danny Granger was a bucket for a long time. All right, so I want one last question before we get out of here. So, this podcast is named The Wizards Effect, right? So it took them 3 years to figure out to finally blow it up, right? It took them hiring the Clippers, one of the head guys of the Clippers. I forget what's his name again, Ron? I forget his name.
Michael Winger.
To tear it down. They gave him the rights to say, hey, tear this down to the studs. So we can get better, so we can get off this hamster wheel. We're not even on a good hamster wheel. We paying all these people and we're the 10th seed. Like, it's not even good. Who is the next team that's gonna go through this same process that's looking at their roster right now and they don't know that they need to tear it down to the studs? I'll give you guys mine first, and I'm gonna make it hard for you guys because I want to pick a team, and then Rell, you pick a team, and then Dustin, you could pick a team because Dustin, I didn't prepare you for this, so I'm gonna make you last.
Nah,
Rell,
I'm good.
Rell, I already talked to him about this, so I prepared him for this. But for me, it's the Chicago Bulls. They need to tear it down. They're one of those teams that don't know it yet. They're. I mean, we'll see what happens in this during free agency, but they need to tear it down. I don't know what you can get for DeMar DeRozan. He's a little older. Obviously, Vucevic, I don't know what his market is, and I don't know in the free agent market. I think Zach LaVine has trade. I think he has upside. I think not upside. That's not the right word. I think he has value in the market. I think if they was to put Zach LaVine on the trade market after the year he had, they can get some real pieces and some real shit back. But yeah, I think the Chicago Bulls need to tear it down to the studs and just start over. But I don't think they don't know that yet. Rell, you're next.
I think it's Minnesota. I think right now
they just started. They don't know yet.
Because, I don't believe that in any situation. I don't know. I feel like that sometimes organizations have to be honest with themselves when they look at the roster. And I feel like your best move is to pivot for something. If you can trade Cat and get something really good for him, replenish your picks. You only have two more. You only have one more year. So the Gobert deal is the Gobert deal is this year and next year, and then they're off of it. So it's only 2 more years of Gobert. You got the Jaden McDaniels extension kicking in this offseason. You still haven't paid Ant. You gotta find pivot. To me, you gotta pivot. I mean, you're gonna run it back with Mike Conley again, who's often injured as your main point guard. And then hopefully that Cat gives you something other than 58 games. Like,
Cat's a generational talent. He changed the game. Don't you remember? He changed the game.
I was going to bring that up, but I didn't even want to give that oxygen.
Yeah, he changed how I view Big Man negatively. Like he makes me wish like how big men used to be when they didn't shoot threes. That's how much that Cat makes me sick.
So I got one that might shock the both of you.
Okay.
The Atlanta Hawks.
No, that's not that shocking. That's not shocking.
I said the Atlanta Hawks because I hate to say it. I think Trae Young gave you his best years already, getting you to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't know about he gave his best years already.
I find it tough for a guard his size to stay productive.
That's what I was saying. I don't know if Trae's your number one. I don't know.
And I know you just traded for DeJounte, but I don't think it's working out.
Okay.
The John Collins, like you guys love him 1 minute, the next minute you hate his guts. Clint Capella, like what happened to him? I mean, you got some decent young guys. I mean, you guys just got Hunter. Now you guys are trying to trade Hunter. Like I just think it's time to just start over.
Okay. I like that. I mean, there was a reason why Trae was out here during the Laker playoffs. He was trying to audition a little bit, but we don't want him. But great pod. We're back after our week hiatus. Back from vacation. Dustin, thank you for coming on. I mean, do you feel like you celebrated enough about your team? I mean, you want to do another victory lap? You good? You guys are world champions, man.
You said this earlier while we were talking. You got to act like you've been here before. So,
act like you've been there before, man. That's all I've been saying.
But I will say,
no, you don't have to. Not on your first one. You can.
Of course.
You should be putting your pants down and showing the world your ass.
I just want to say that the Nugget disrespect this year was shut up. And I will say
he was disrespecting his Nuggets too. Remember when I was telling you that he was more concerned about Joker's MVP status than the Nuggets winning championship?
But I told y'all at the beginning of the year when we came on here and talked, I said it's championship or bust, right? Getting all the other stuff, the other accolades, like put it to you this way: Jokic was robbed his third MVP. He would have been up there with the greatest of greats to ever three-peat.
He was robbed.
A three-peat out of all the years. Like, look, you could take.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he should have won last year, but keep going.
You could take last year's MVP. You could. I would say give that one to Embiid because he deserved that one.
I agree.
But this one, it's just a bunch of bullshit.
But now I give Nikola this. Every time I refer to him, I refer to him as Nikola Jokic, best big man in the NBA.
Yep.
That's all.
I look at it like this now. I look at it like this now.
Victor Wembanyama just got drafted.
He hasn't played a game. I'm sick of the head that
I just gotta say
he got drafted. We can't say that.
The media's
Victor just got drafted. We can't say that.
No, you can't say that just yet. He has to make it out of Summer League first.
That's true. By the way, speaking of Summer League, we will be at Summer League.
Yes.
Most likely early Summer League, so we can see Victor play again because obviously he won't be playing long in Summer League.
No.
So
I'll also be at NBA Con. So
heard about NBA Con. I'm probably going to Sneaker Con instead of NBA Con because it's the same day, right?
I don't think so. I think it's the weekend before.
No, it's all on the same weekend.
Oh.
Same weekend, I believe. So
it's a 7,
probably going to Sneaker Con instead of NBA Con. But
I'm working it all in.
I will say though, Jokic might not got the regular season one, but he swept the postseason MVPs and got the trophy that matters, And he led his team there. Greatness.
Something to be would never be able to do.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, This looks damn great with the Nuggets logo. It looks great.
Congratulations, Nuggets! Congratulations, Dustin. You're the only Nugget fan I've ever met and I've ever known, and you deserve your flowers and your victory lap.
Hey, Denver's a
But
title
he was definitely
town.
worried about the MVP trophy more than the Larry O.B. So I just want to say that.
Hey,
But
everybody had us written off because this is the Jamal Murray comeback year and the MPJ comeback year. So, like I said, I told y'all it was championship.
No,
or
you
bust.
know, I'll be honest with you. The best thing that happened to the Nuggets is the stability of Michael
Aaron
Porter
Gordon
Jr.'s
trade.
back.
The Aaron Gordon trade that Dustin was killing. Don't forget that Aaron was killing Aaron Gordon. But I don't want to bring up all the negative stuff that Dustin.
I got a funny
Aaron
story
Gordon.
to tell you. I got to tell a funny story to tell you about Aaron Gordon.
Oh my God, here we go.
Game 3, Gab and I went to the game in Phoenix, right?
Yep.
The game that we lost. And I looked over at Gab. I said, "Hey Gab,
trade Aaron Gordon. Get Aaron Gordon the fuck out of here."
I said, Gab, if Aaron Gordon makes these 2 free throws to tie the game up, I will forgive him for all of his sins. Forgive him for all of his sins.
All his fucking sins.
And let me tell you,
fourth option in the year, 2 of his best play, 2 of the second best player and the third best player got hurt, and he got slided to the second spot, and then you want to blame him. Watch out. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. We appreciate you guys. We love you. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. It helps the pod grow. Helps the pod go a long way. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, and check us out on Instagram. Thank you, Dustin, for your time. We appreciate you. Go Nuggets. Again, congratulations. Enjoy it because y'all not winning next year. All right, for real, I'm Kev. That's Dustin, and we're those millennials, and we're out.
Free Dame.